You're here because you're wondering, where did we come from? If that question seems a bit too vast for this tiny little corner of the cosmos, don't worry, you're not alone. For most of history, humankind has looked up at the sky and wondered about our place in the universe. It can be hard to remember that we're made of star stuff, and even harder to picture how all that star stuff came together to make us. But scientists have been piecing together that story for decades now, and they've got some pretty good ideas about how we went from dust to you and me. Our solar system formed out of a giant cloud of gas and dust around 4.6 billion years ago. That sounds like ancient history, but it's really just a few chapters back in the history of the universe. And we wouldn't be here without one key ingredient, our big yellow host star, the sun. It gave us light and heat and energy. In fact, without the sun, we wouldn't even be here. So let's take a moment to get to know our favorite star a little better. Hey there, welcome to this channel. Today we're going to find out how the sun went from a humble ball of hot gas to the most important thing in our planetary system. We may never know what the first life forms on Earth were like, but we do know that they needed a stable environment to evolve over billions of years. That environment was shaped by the sun. Scientists think that before life could evolve, Earth needed liquid water, a stable climate, and an atmosphere with enough oxygen to breathe. And our wonderful big ball of burning plasma helped with all three. It starts with the sun's energy. Our little blue planet is a comfortable distance from the sun, just right to receive enough of its energy to keep our surfaces warm and our water liquid. If the sun were any further away, Earth would be too cold for life as we know it. If it were any closer, Earth would be way too hot. It's a Goldilocks situation. We happen to be at the perfect distance from the sun to support life. It's not too hot, not too cold, just right. Now, the sun's energy doesn't just fall out of the sky onto Earth. Some of it bounces off the surface of our planet, and some of it gets absorbed into the atmosphere. But about 2/3 of the sun's energy reaches the surface and warms our oceans, our land, and our air. And our atmosphere protects us from the worst of the sun's power too. Without our atmosphere, the surface of Earth would be a scorched desert. But our atmosphere holds on to some of the sun's energy, gradually heating the lower layers of the atmosphere and the surface of Earth. That's called the greenhouse effect. It works because certain gases in our atmosphere, like water vapor and carbon dioxide, absorb and re-emit energy. And that keeps Earth's temperature within the range needed for liquid water to exist. But the sun does more than just warm our world. Its energy also makes the water on Earth evaporate, which forms clouds and also causes water to cycle through our atmosphere and back down to the surface as precipitation. That movement of water keeps our planet habitable, creates winds that spread warm air from the equator to the poles, and help distribute heat around the globe. Those same atmospheric currents also carry away waste heat from Earth's core and keep our planet from overheating. And those ocean currents help distribute heat around the globe and make Earth's climate more hospitable. So without the sun's energy, Earth couldn't have liquid water or a livable climate. But that's not all the sun gives us. The energy it provides powers the majority of life on Earth through photosynthesis. Plants use their leaves and stems to capture the sun's energy. They soak up photons, or particles of light, and use them to combine carbon dioxide and water into sugars that the plant needs to grow. As a byproduct, they release oxygen into the atmosphere. So the sun's energy turns inorganic matter like carbon dioxide into food for plants, which eventually becomes food for us. It's no exaggeration to say that without the sun, there wouldn't be any food for humans or other animals on Earth. So the sun helps produce the food we eat and the water we drink, the weather we experience, and the air we breathe. But sometimes the sun can be a little too powerful. Storms, floods, droughts, hurricanes, heat waves, wildfires, blizzards, the sun can cause all of these. And although some of these events are natural, human activities are changing the frequency and intensity of many of them. Take our warming planet. When the sun's rays hit Earth's atmosphere, some are absorbed by greenhouse gases like water vapor and carbon dioxide, and that warms our lower atmosphere and the surface of Earth. More greenhouse gases mean more energy is trapped in our lower atmosphere, which raises average global temperatures. And humans burning fossil fuels have increased the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by 50% since the Industrial Revolution. That extra carbon waste starts to trap more heat in our lower atmosphere, raising Earth's average temperature. Since the 1970s, we've added 4.5 Hiroshima atomic bombs of excess heat to the atmosphere every second. And 90% of that extra heat has gone into the oceans, causing rising sea levels and less snow and ice in the Arctic. Of course, there's natural variability in Earth's climate. Temperatures rise and fall, glaciers advance and retreat. But the changes we're seeing now are happening faster than they ever have before in the past, which means that our relationship with the sun is changing. Humans are now influencing the climate of Earth, and while we've been able to adapt to the sun's changes in the past, we can't predict what will happen next. Maybe you've heard that the sun is getting older and it will eventually die. Well, it is true that the sun isn't going to shine forever, but according to scientists, we've got billions of years to go. In about 10 billion years, when the sun will be a red giant, Earth will be a very different place. By then, the sun will be big and bright and hot enough to boil the oceans and blow the atmosphere away. But until then, the sun will continue to give us light and warmth and energy, so we can enjoy sunny days, warm beaches, a cool drink of water, and a bite of fruit grown in fields powered by the sun. And none of that would be possible without the sun. I think that we often take the sun for granted, but it is truly incredible. It gives us life and energy and lets us live and grow and thrive. So I'm thankful for the sun. Are you? Let me know in the comments section below. In our quest to understand the origins of life on Earth, we need to look beyond our own planet. Researchers are searching for exoplanets that could have the potential to support life and exploring what it might have been like when our solar system was young. We have sent spacecraft to explore our closest rocky neighbors, Mars and Venus, and discovered fascinating evidence about the potential for life elsewhere in our solar system. You can learn more about these topics and others in this video playlist. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.